welcome to Mrs. Hoover's art class. Today we're going to draw a one-point perspective city. So we're going to turn this drawing that we did on a previous video, we're going to turn this perspective drawing into a city. I want to show you how to do that. So you will need a paper like this, and you will need a ruler and a pencil. If you haven't done this previously, then I would suggest that you go to my other video, which is one-point perspective cubes, and learn how to draw a one-point perspective cube, and then you can draw this cool city. I think you'll really like it. So let's get started. So we're going to turn this one-point perspective drawing of cubes into a city. Something that looks like, maybe something like this. These are some of the drawings that my students did, or even this. So let me show you how we do that. It's really lots of fun, and every time we do this in class, my kids are very excited. So first thing, remember, we're going to do is we are going to use our vanishing point. And here you can see we've erased the guidelines, but we can still see them. One of the important things about making buildings like this is using parallel lines. So parallel lines here, we want to draw parallel lines to this line here. See how I slide my ruler over and keeping it parallel? So I'm going to draw some more lines as I move my ruler over, keeping it parallel. And it starts to look like the floors of a building. And then I'm going to turn. See how I use good ruler technique, but I always draw on the right hand side since I am right-handed. If you're left-handed, you would turn your ruler the other direction and you would draw this way. But I am right-handed. So I'm going to hold this here. Now this is the tricky one. I'm going to keep it parallel, slide it over until I see that corner, and I'm going to draw a line down here and keep going. I don't want to turn my ruler. I want it straight up and down. I'm going to draw this guideline in again. And you can see I'm lining it up with my corner and the vanishing point. Okay, so I'm going to do a few more lines like this, and this is starting to look like the floors of a building. All right, same thing on this side. Now there's other ways that I can design the side of my building. Again, I'm going to do some parallel lines. Putting back in my guidelines. I can do just a few lines. I can also do vertical lines. So let me show you how you do that. You start here at the vanishing point, and see I can pivot my ruler back and forth, and I'm going to start at the vanishing point and go up to the top. And I pivot, go up to the top of my building and up to the top. So that looks pretty cool. I can do that on this side too, but I think I'll just do some more straight lines parallel to this side. So I'm taking it parallel, sliding it over. There's my corner. Parallel, this line is parallel to that. Same thing here. All right, so I'm going to do that with all of my boxes, putting in some floors and starting to make some buildings. Okay, so I've got my 5 buildings here. You can certainly do more buildings than this, but I'm just going to start with these 5. And on this one here, you can see I put back in my guidelines, but I'm going to erase it. I just pick a place to be the bottom of my building. So now I'm going to make my buildings look like they're sitting on the ground rather than going to a point. So I pick a place that I want my building to stop. I'm going to choose that one, and then I erase everything else. And same thing with this one. Of course, I had already erased my guidelines on those. But this one here, I'm going to erase those lines. Okay, so now I've got my 5 buildings that are starting to look like they're sitting on the ground. So what if I wanted to make a building that was shaped a different shape, like an L-shaped building or a circle building? So let's just do an L shape. Okay, so there's my L-shaped building. And just like we did with boxes, I'm going to connect every corner to the vanishing point. So I've got this corner, these got 5 different corners that I can connect to the vanishing point. Made a mistake. Okay, so there's my L-shaped building, and then I do the parallel lines. I'm just going to need to do more of them on an L-shaped building, so I'm just going to go down, keeping it parallel here, and go between these 2 lines, and drawing my floors. As long as you keep things parallel, they will look 3-dimensional. Okay, so here I'm going to make it parallel to this line, like that. One more. And then I'm going to make it parallel on these sides. Now I could do I could do vertical lines, but I'll just go ahead and do parallel. So parallel with this top, slide it down, keeping it parallel. And same thing on the other side. This one's really skinny, but that's how it works. Okay, so I'm going to make my building landing over here and erase all my guidelines underneath that line. And then I mentioned doing a circle building. Usually I get a template for that. I'll get something that I draw around. So I found a circle to use. I'm going to use this pencil sharpener, but you can use anything, any kind of lid or a circle shape that you can find, and I drew around it. So this is going to show you 2 different things. One, it's going to show you how to do a building that is shaped like a cylinder, and also it's going to show you how to make a building one behind another building, because this circle's up here next to that, and one of my lines is going to bump into this building. So let's look at how we do that. So here's my vanishing point, and I'm going to take my ruler and line it up with my vanishing point. Then I'm going to move it over till I get to the very edge of the circle. See how I'm at the very edge? And I'm going to draw up to the very edge. Okay? And same thing on the other side. My ruler goes over, and I'm keeping it one side. I'm pivoting on the vanishing point, and I go right till I touch. But I'm not going to draw all the way through, because I'll be drawing through this L-shaped building. So I'm going to keep it lined up. I'm going to go to where my building stops, and I'm going to continue on up to my circle building. Okay, so now I'm going to make the ending of my building. So to make the floors, I'm just going to copy this curved line and copying around. But when I get to that L-shaped building, I stop. Copy the curved line, and I go down as far as I want to. I think I'll stop here, and then I'm going to erase everything underneath it. That's going to be the bottom of my building. So let's talk about how we would add roads, because you can see as a city, it would be cool to have some roads, just like we have here. So let's look at how we would do some roads. Roads are really just going to be 2 lines that we sort of move around our city. So let's start with this building right here. We're going to put 2 lines in front. Now the road's going to be pretty small because we are way up high. So I've got 2 lines here. And then I think, okay, I'm going to put a road over here. Now, you know, roads don't go right up to buildings. Roads, there's usually some space like grass or a sidewalk between the building and the road. So I don't want my two double lines to be touching. I'm going to have them next to the building. So there's another double line for a road. And so you can see how these two are close to each other, so I could just connect them like that. And then I might want my road to go around my building, so I'm going to turn and go this way. It's kind of like I'm building a road. I'm sort of snaking these two lines all around. And if I want to, I could have the road go on the side of the building. So I think once I get past this corner, I can turn and draw it down like that. And it looks like it's going around, so I'm going to do that. So let's see, I'm going to leave that for a little bit. Let me go over to this building here. Let's draw two lines in front of this building, like that. And two lines in the front of this side, and I'll just connect these. So now it looks like I could connect these two. So I'll do that. And now what do I want to do? This could just be a park, like a downtown park. Let's see, I think I want to draw a road over here. So I'm not going to do it real exact. I'm kind of make it kind of curvy. So here's a curvy road, like that. And then I'm going to put a road here in front. And maybe I'll connect these two. Maybe what I'll do then is connect this road over to this one. So I'll just build it over here, and then you see this line here, I can erase that line. So that's just all you do. You just start drawing two lines everywhere. I'm going to go over to this building. I could put some lines in front of this building. And I could go around. I could go over to it. I could go around this building. And these two look like these could connect. So I'll connect those. They're close to each other. So you see, I'm just drawing two lines, kind of moving them around. I'm going to go behind the building. I'd like to draw something in front of this curvy building. So I'll do two lines here, and they're going to stop when they get to these buildings, and then I'll just connect to this. I'm going to drive over to that building. You can also do a road that's over to the side of your city. So maybe there's a highway going by. So maybe I draw, and it could be a little bit bigger because maybe it's a double highway. So if you're drawing cars on the road, they would be small, like little rectangles, because we're so far up. So you wouldn't see a lot of detail with these cars. I'm just kind of randomly draw them around. Okay, so I can continue doing my roads. Maybe I'll send one back there. And go off the edge of the paper. I've had some students connect their papers together. I thought that was a great idea. Now, another thing you can add to your city is trees. Trees are so easy to do. They look like flowers, but from far up, they're trees. So I just like to put trees around. Maybe this is a park. And trees could go a lot of different places. You could have a forest of trees where there's a lot of them. You could put in a lake. And there's trees around that. You can also put in clouds. You can make the clouds covering over some of the building. Now, what if I wanted to put a building on top? So what I would do is I would draw a rectangle on the top. And then I'm going to make short lines here, not all the way down, but I am still going to use my vanishing point. I can still see it. So I'm going to make short lines from each corner. From the corner to the vanishing point, I've lined it up, but I'm only drawing a very short distance here. Corner, line up with the vanishing point, and just stop. So then I line these up parallel with this line here, and I draw this line to make it parallel with these lines. Okay, so there's my little tiny building on top of the tall skyscraper. One of the things that makes this also look real is if you start to color in the center, kind of show the grass. You can use colored pencils, they work really well for this, or you can just use your pencil. So you can do more things. You can add birds and airplanes and other details and draw some other lines around the buildings. Just use your imagination. Boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed making your bird's eye view of a city. I would love to see your artwork. So if you want to, you can take a picture of it and send it to me at mrsHooversArtClass@gmail.com. And remember, every day is a great day to make art. Bye!